Hey guys, it's Dan, your host, your Dan's Reviews, and today I'm back for another video for the Walking Dead universe. And in today's video, we're going to be doing another discussion topic video. This one is for the Walking Dead franchise. We're going to talk about the variants and why apparently Screen Rant thinks that there are 6 plot holes with these creations. Alright guys, this one's going to be doing a review today. This one's going to be doing a review for the Walking Dead universe. And in today's video, we're going to be going over an article from Screen Rant where they discuss 6 inconsistent plot holes with the variant walkers in the Walking Dead universe. So I thought this would be a very interesting one to go through for today. We have 6 different reasons from Screen Rant that they go through with the variants and why they think that they are inconsistent and do actually make some plot holes in the franchise. We're going to discuss them. We're going to go through each one and kind of give my opinion at least on whether or not I think they're accurate or whether or not I think that they're false. So we're going to go ahead and do that. Walking Dead variants is definitely something that has been major in the franchise for at least like about almost 2 years now. Because we heard about them earlier in 2022, and we're still seeing them now going into 2024 of the franchise. I'm assuming we'll probably see some in The Ones Who Live. We've seen a lot in Daryl Dixon, down to Burners and all this other stuff, and the main series did include them a little bit. Fear didn't really, but, it was still kind of, it was around in the franchise. And obviously, World Beyond had a post-credit with one as well, too, in France, so there was that as well. But anyway, let's get into it. So, reason number 6, starting off, we have variant walkers already existed in Season 1. So this is the most generic one that people always bring up, is that variants were already a thing in Season 1. And I have to consistently repeat myself over and over again when I tell people that, yes, they did behave the same in Season 1. Yes, they did, open doors and climb ladders a little bit. We saw that. But here's the thing. They were not called variants, right? They were just Walking Dead zombies back then. Frank Darabont, that was his idea for what zombies were going to be like. And then as the show continued and we went into Season 2 and we went into Season 3, they dropped that idea. They made them more slow. They made them more, kind of basic zombies type of thing. So I don't consider that a variant. I know a lot of people do. I don't consider that a variant at all. That is what Frank Darabont wanted to do with early days of walkers, right? I don't consider that a variant. I consider that what the walkers were originally supposed to be back in Season 1. That's what it was. And then they decided over time to make them more dumb and slowed down. So that's, in my opinion, we never had variants in Season 1. That's what the walkers were like. And then they slowly got dumber as the time went on. That's what The Walking Dead was written to be like back in the early few seasons, and that's what it was like back then. Yes, they did these things back then, but over time, the zombies got dumber and dumber. That's what the overall idea of that one was. Reason number 5 is that variants just disappeared for over a decade and returned in Season 11. Now, this one for sure is definitely one that you could make a case with, but at the same time, if there's any kind of involvement, and this is when it kind of gets tricky because of lack of information, there could be a reason why walkers are opening doors and climbing things in Season 11. There definitely could be a reason for that. A reason that we don't even know yet. There could be something that happened in France that maybe released a few walkers out in America when they were making their way over there. I mean, that's definitely possible, Literally in Daryl Dixon 105, they had a bunch of walkers that they were collecting and they were going to bring on their trip, right? So they definitely could have let one slip, one wandered off, and then there you go. That's how they're in America. So, look, I know it's very, out of nowhere and very, kind of hard to really say, but it makes sense. Maybe a few test subjects got out, that they were working on, and they're kind of pumped up and they can climb better than others. Yeah, that definitely makes sense. So to me, that one, them disappearing for 10 years, well, it's also possible that we just never saw our characters interact with them, right? So there is that as well. But a variant, I do think, is something that was manually created. I do think that was something that was created by somebody, whether it's Madame Jeanette or it's CRM related or it's something else. I definitely think there's a reason why those, more, able to do stuff walkers in America were there, right? I definitely think something happened and some of them broke out of somewhere, and then that's why they interacted with Aaron's group in episode 19 of the main show, and that's why they did all that stuff. So I don't think they necessarily disappeared. I just think that back then those were Frank Darabont walkers. And then nowadays, whoever is making these, whoever is working on these, something must have happened and some of them maybe slipped out at some point. That's definitely not impossible. And I think that's going to be a reason that is explained later on. Well, I don't know what show they're going to do that in, but I do think there's a reason why there's a few random variants in America. I really do think so. Reason number 4 is most of our characters have never seen a variant walker, including Negan and a whole bunch of others. Well, obviously, Screen Rant... I don't know what Screen Rant's on, but yes, Negan did see a variant in The Walking Dead.
What the fuck?
Season 11. So I don't really know what they mean by that, but anyway, most characters didn't see a variant. Yes, that's true. Until the final episodes, I think is more so what they mean. They really should have specified that, but yeah, honestly, I mean, you know, if there's only a few wandering around, and if there's only a couple variants here and there, like, that would definitely make sense. Like, this was the reason I remember where I was like, okay, I gotta do a video on this, because that's ridiculous. Yeah, no, that's stupid. Like, sure, maybe some characters have seen variants, and then most didn't. Like, if there's only a few wandering around, and the odd few in the area, like, of course that's gonna happen. Like, I'm telling you right now, guys, the variance in the final half of the main Walking Dead show was accidentally released by somebody. I don't know who it is, but because there were only a few in the final few episodes that could actually do that stuff, I'm telling you, something went wrong in a lab somewhere and something was released accidentally. I guarantee you. Because it just doesn't add up. It doesn't add up whatsoever. Reason number 3 is that Daryl Dixon, Reason number 3 is that zombies were created in France, according to what we've heard, so how the hell are they in America? Well, like I said before, we literally saw the doctor, the scientist or whatever that, you know, was in France. He was in 105 with Daryl in the flashback. You don't think it's possible in any way, shape, or form that a few of them could have gotten released out into America and just wandered off for a while? Like, it's definitely possible. I don't see that to be impossible at all. You know, I'm sure the variants were something that was created in France. I definitely do believe some of that. But I don't think that it's impossible that they could have been in America, you know? They got ships going back and forth from America to France for some odd reason. There's definitely a possibility in those exchanges there where a few walkers broke loose, and then there you go. Variants are circling around, you know, America now. So, like, I don't see that as a impossible scenario. I really don't. So, yes, I think variants could have definitely been created in France, either that or CRM. But I definitely don't think that it's a situation where it's like, oh yeah, so like, you know, because they were created in France, they should stay in France. No, there's definitely a scenario where some of them could have, you know, broken out. Zombies are zombies, especially if they're more powerful. That's another scenario, right? If somebody's not watching them correctly and these zombies are more pumped up and powerful than usual, then it's definitely possible that a zombie could have broken out and there's not a damn thing you can do about it. You know what I'm saying? So keep those suckers locked up is all I'm saying. Don't put them on a freaking like little leash or something. Like, they'll break out, right? So no, I do think that the variants were created in France. I just think there's a mishap somewhere, and that's probably why some of them were in America, you know? And I feel like it was just a matter of time before some of them did go to America, to be honest. So there you go. Reason number 2 is that The Walking Dead has never revealed the origins of the variants. Well, that's just about patience, my friend. That is, honestly, I find that a dumb reason to call it inconsistent and a plot hole. Like, what? Like, let the universe play out a little bit. Like, that's one of the things I can't stand from this franchise sometimes, is that people will just jump. They'll just be like, oh my god, we don't know where the variants came from. We don't know 100% what happened, so it's a plot hole. It's inconsistent. I'm like, let the shows play out. Let the time go by. We've only seen this for barely 2 years. They're going to explain it at some point. Then, if it's a plot hole at that point, okay, there you go. But I can't stand people that just jump to a conclusion. That's absolutely ridiculous. And finally, the number 1 reason, we got burners are inconsistent with all the rules with walkers. So I guess what they're saying is that basically, if, you know, like, a burner eliminates a lot of the zombie tactics that our characters have used over the years. Not necessarily, because we've only seen burners in France. Keep that in mind. Until I see a burner in America, I'm not going to say that's unrealistic. Because we haven't seen Daryl do the same type of zombie tactics that he did in America as he is in France. In France, there's different type of walkers. There are burners. There are different, different types. But in America, we've never heard of burners. The most we've seen is zombies climb some ladders and pick up a rock, you know what I mean? So, and open some doors. So we haven't seen a burner in America. Until I see a burner in America, I am not going to judge that one either. I think that's a dumb reason. There's definitely a possibility that certain ones are different in France than they are in America. That's definitely possible. Hell, the outbreak started with the French, so it's possible that they have more advanced walkers than America does, right? And that's just the way it is. So, I don't know, guys. I think Screen Rant kind of, went a little bit overboard with this. I think certain reasons they kind of jumped to conclusions and called it plot holes just for the sake of this article. I think certain ones are a little bit kind of iffy, but at the same time, like I said, opinions are opinions. I just think that people should kind of, let the story play out a little bit before you judge them too harshly. But, like I said, I see some of the points. I definitely don't, disagree with all of them. But at the same time, I'm going to let the story play out first. And then maybe we'll revisit this topic in about a year or two's time once we get more information on the Daryl Dixon series and Rick and Michonne and maybe Dead City if they throw something in there as well. So there you go. But anyway, thank you all so much for watching videos like this. Of course, if you're new to the channel and you enjoyed this video, make sure to click the subscribe button so you don't miss any other videos of The Walking Dead. Be sure to follow me on Dan's The Walking Dead Reviews. And of course, I will see you guys really soon for more videos of The Walking Dead. Enjoy the rest of the day, guys, and peace out.